Hello and welcome back, A&M Tactical family. My name is Albert, and today I need to start off with a confession. So, what am I guilty of? Well, in the past 30 years, I've owned numerous, firearms from Ruger's, Smith& and Wesson, Walters, H&K. I mean, the list goes on and on. However, there's been one specific brand, one specific type of gun that there's a huge cult following that I've never really engaged with. Now, before I get booed, let me try to explain to you why. No matter what model they came up with, right, it always to me seemed to look the same. Now, what am I talking about? Of course, the Glock. Now, this ain't a real Glock. This is actually one of my safety tools that I use. And but just to get a point of reference, to me they all look the same. Just a black ordinary pistol. No frills, nothing really, different. Obviously, they came in different, sizes and calibers and whatnot. But I just didn't, really have that connection with them. Now, don't get me wrong. These, Glock has been, known throughout the whole world for their reliability. Their, it's an industry standard for law enforcement. But for some reason, it just didn't click with me, right? So, as fate would have it, everything changed about 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago, I walk into my local gun store, and just taking a quick glance, across the glass or whatnot. But something caught my eye, and what caught my eye was actually something that the store manager was sporting. So I looked, and I see something nice and shiny, on his holster, and I said, "Hey, what is it that you have there?" And he goes, "Oh, you mean this?" And this is what he showed me. The Glock 43X with the Hulson HS407K optic. Now, mind you, when I saw this, I was like, wow, I like this, right? So, of course, I was looking at it, whatnot. And he was like, man, why don't you take it inside and, shoot a few rounds through it? And you know how it is, a lot of times, I shy away from using somebody else's firearm, but I was like, you know what, before I do the investment, let me take a crack at it. So I went inside and I just took literally five, shots with it. And I came back and I was like, I want this, you know? So anyway, as they say, the rest is history. Now, this is the one that I purchased, and I'm really, really curious, putting, 100 rounds to her and see how I really, truly like how she shoots. Anyway, stay tuned. I'll be back very shortly. Gonna head over to the range and I'll give you my thoughts. So we're back from the range, and I got to tell you, super impressed with this Glock 43X. Put about 100 rounds through her, and I had zero failures. Now, this is something that has really impressed me because with all the firearms that I've had in the past 30 years, I don't recall one straight out of the box in which I didn't have, at least one jam. I heard stories from Glock owners in which they said, man, you don't have to do a break in. And I was like, you guys are crazy. Well, guess what? I'm starting to believe it. Anyway, really enjoyed her. So some of the specs on her, she's about 16.5 ounces in weight empty, about 6.5 inches in length, about 1.1 inch in width. She comes out of the box with two 10 round mags. Already went ahead and bought myself a 15 round. This was the Holson optic that I got with her, the HS407K, as you can see here. I went ahead and got a leather holster from We the People. I typically don't do leather, but man, this one really caught my attention. Looks super cool. Looks really nice. Fits really snug. So I'm really looking forward to start carrying her with this. Anyway, you Glock owners, uh, put down in the comments what should be my next Glock, because I'm going to tell you right now, between you and I'm getting another one. Anyway, like we say here at AAM, always hit your mark. My name is Albert. And if you like this kind of content, please hit the like and subscribe, and be safe out there. Thank you so much.